This would be the sixth targeting in South Lebanon since the beginning of this day. We'll wait until the attacks happen. We'll see the damage and we'll finish this report with you.
ضرب
يا محمد يا محمد في المصاروف حي كله شو هذا ولو لعنة الله جي بي يو هذا مش طبيعي لو يا شباب.
Hey everybody, this is Laith Marouf from Free Palestine TV, and we are in Saida in South Lebanon, just outside al-Hilweh Palestinian refugee camp, which you can see right behind me here. Before we continue with this report, I ask you to press the subscribe button on whatever social media platform you're watching this on, and to go to our website, freepalestine.video, to donate so we can continue bringing you this content. Yesterday, a Zionist drone attacked the refugee camp here. 2 missiles directed at an indoor soccer or football field where young men and youth were playing football and sports as usually. At least 16 martyrs were declared since last night. There's many other people that are severely injured and in critical condition in the hospital. And the original excuse that the Zionists used, of course, Zionists don't need excuses to commit massacres, but originally the Zionists claimed that this was a Hamas holdout and that they assassinated some leadership of Hamas inside Lebanon. Of course, we know now that is totally a lie, and that this was a totally civilian infrastructure and all the victims were civilian, unarmed, not members of Hamas. This comes less than 24 hours since the Security Council of the United Nations voted to implement an occupation force, a colonial force with direct colonial administration over Gaza to attempt to defeat the resistance in Palestine. In a way, this is the response of the Israelis. They believe now that they can also administer Lebanon colonially and put a price for the civilians that have kept their heads up high over the last 2 years of the genocide. We haven't been able to go inside, not because the Palestinian factions or the refugees didn't want us there, but because the Lebanese military, Lebanese government, has refused to issue any permits for anybody to go into the refugee camp. So we can't show you the full amount of the damage, but it's clear that this is the most brutal, most lethal attack by the Zionists on Lebanon since the so-called ceasefire came into effect in December 2024. So 16 civilians killed as they played football. There has been other attacks in Lebanon over the last 24 hours, and we're going to continue our path right now to the south of Lebanon to get to Blida and to get to other locations that were attacked, targeted again, civilian targets by the Zionists. We'll see you when we get there. We were on our way to al-Hilweh because earlier in the morning there was a drone attack on a civilian car where one of the municipal workers was martyred from al-Hilweh. This is the second municipal worker that was attacked over the last few days. It seems like they are targeting anyone that works with the municipalities in the efforts to reconstruct the south of Lebanon. And in this attack in al-Hilweh, there was a bus right behind the car where the municipal worker was martyred. The bus was carrying students from Sur University. They were heading to their classes this morning. And we know now that the driver of the bus, as well as all those students, are in the hospital. They have been injured. At least 11 or 12 injuries right now have been distributed in the hospitals in the south. The reason we stopped our drive to al-Hilweh is because we just heard the Zionist military threaten locations in Dir Kife, right there, and Shhour. We are standing in Kfar Donin, another village that in the south overlooking those locations. One of those locations that is threatened is right there. And we have a couple of drones right now flying. So we are waiting to see what will happen in this attack. Hopefully the villagers have moved away from the location that's threatened, and hopefully nobody will be injured in this attack. But we're gonna wait for the attack to happen. If it happens right now, we can hear the drones even louder. And then we will try to get to al-Hilweh to cover the attack on the bus and the municipality worker. Hadi, we're in Kfar Donin. The drone is hovering.
Yes.
And it seems like the locals are used to this situation, getting these warnings. And
Only a few weeks ago, they received here in Kfar Donin the same warning, and one building was struck inside this village also.
And I see right there, part of the mountainside is burnt clearly with white phosphorus.
Yes.
Through the war, they targeted their fields here. So why would today, out of the blue, this, what's his name, the spokesperson for the Israeli military?
I think he resigned, but I don't know if he's still doing anything or someone else is managing his
account.
But yes, Afrika Adrai issued those two warnings. We have to basically mention for the people who are watching this, we have to make them just live this experience with these people. Right now, the Israelis are calling the houses of the people, not only the few people around it, also people like people here in the area, few kilometers away from the strike. They call them and they tell them you have to evacuate your home because we will be targeting something nearby your home. Of course, and they are mentioning that we will be targeting Hezbollah infrastructure. All of this is part of the entire psychological warfare on the people of the resistance. They want them first to blame the resistance for targeting. They want them to say, if there was no Hezbollah infrastructure near us, we will not be targeted, which is the first false claim. Israel and the aggression of Israel is continuing since 1948 and maybe even before this, against the people of Lebanon, since the 1930s against the people of Lebanon. The other thing is that they want to maximize the effect of the strikes. For example, right now, they warned that they will be targeting one house in the valley behind us. Since 1 hour, everyone here is just sitting. The schools evacuated the children. Some people who are nearby the location, of course, have just left their places temporarily in order to, of course, to make sure that their children or their...
And even the main road was closed, so cars don't get by accident hit.
Of course, these are necessary precautions and measures, but this shows you how they can maximize the effect of one strike. You know, one strike, you will feel like something very major is happening here. That's first. Second, they are claiming that they are targeting Hezbollah infrastructure. The Lebanese army and the UNIFIL forces had, maybe not since 2 months until now, but before this, they were searching. They were, the Lebanese army was going to locations, and they were trying also to check in valleys for infrastructure that the Israelis used to give them intel, not directly to the Lebanese army, to the mechanism, to the UNIFIL forces, to the Lebanese army. And they used to go combined, Lebanese army and UNIFIL forces, to search if there was any weapons or any infrastructure among civilians and civilian buildings. Now, according to what we have witnessed during this entire period and what we witnessed 2 or 3 weeks ago and what we will witness now, this was a coffee shop. The people inside this building were also locals and they were living in it, you know. If there will be anything related to military infrastructure, you have it inside your home, you will never live in this home. We will see now and we will wait. And we know how the Israelis always use these claims to give a justification for their aggression. And if it was really something spontaneous, you can just see how it's timed with all of this escalation that is escalating actually one day after another since many weeks from now, only because the Israelis want to exert the maximum pressure to reach a point at the end of this month where the resistance should, by what was mentioned by the government for the American papers, it's called the American paper, that they will be disarming Hezbollah at the end of this month.
Well, obviously, the multiple drones that are up there are collecting as much information as possible right now. Everybody's phone, everybody's movement since they made the threat.
People
calling, you know, are you okay? Where are you? So on. They're trying to collect this.
This is what they do.
Okay, now we can hear the fighter jet coming. That was the first missile. This is
ضرب شحور بين
so they hit both villages at the same time.
يا محمد لك فطاره
حربة
And it was a fighter jet. It wasn't a drone that fired.
Laith, right now we are live. No secondary explosions. White and grayish smoke. No fire. No black smoke. Nothing even combustible. Just cement and the powder of the cement after the TNT explosion. And this grayish smoke is from also the whitish grayish smoke is from the TNT explosion.
Yeah.
No secondary explosions that prove that it's only targeting empty buildings. Just empty
There's
buildings.
a coffee shop, a clothes store, a fashion store
and
for women.
And we are live. And we can see with our own eyes that it's an empty building and there was no secondary
military targets at all of significance. Clearly, this is all terrorism. Wahhabi Zionist terrorism. We're just going to the location of the attack. We'll be there in a few minutes, okay? This is the Hezbollah military infrastructure that the Zionists targeted. can see water. The main has been broken in the building. People's homes damaged. These stores that were here include an ergili shop, shisha shop, a coffee shop, and a clothing shop, all destroyed. This is what the Zionists want to do to South Lebanon.
What can you spot among the rubble?
We can see here a washing machine. We can see some home appliances. This clearly was a bedroom right there. That is a stove. A stove. It's literally a home. Yeah, we can see obviously the beams almost collapsing. So we shouldn't get a little bit closer. We're gonna try to go around, see the damage from the other side. Wow. Wow. This gray cement that flew all over the area we saw from up there, whoever had a home here is gone. And now we've got the electric lines. Oh Lord. They targeted the bottom floor on purpose just to have the top floor fall on top of it. They think it's an art form. Lord. Oh my God. The man that ran the coffee shop at the bottom of the building pulled out some of his machines and some of his coffee, but the missile came too fast. He couldn't pull out his espresso machine, which is obviously much more expensive than just the drip coffee that is there. All these metal doors just blew off the bottom of the stores to the other side of the road. You can see some of them even there. And one all the way there. You can see here one of the businesses that are damaged is a hairdresser, barber. Totally destroyed. It's going to be out of business for a while. This is how villagers are punished by the Zionists for just the mere being Lebanese existing in the south in the way of the expansion of Greater Israel. So there was, of course, 2 more attacks in Shhour village, which we also filmed from up the hill. There was no secondary explosions, meaning there's no weapons, there's no infrastructure for the resistance anywhere, just pure terrorism against the people of South Lebanon because of the demands by the Zionists and the Americans that Hezbollah and the resistance disarms, which neither the military or the president of Lebanon are accepting. We will see more pressure build up on Lebanon. This is what everybody is expecting as the deadline for disarmament of the resistance looms closer. Many analysts believe that there will be a return to full-scale war any day now. We were heading home after filming the attack on Deir Kifa and the damage. And as we were driving, we actually recorded a outro for the report. But as we were driving, the warnings came for an attack on Ainata. Some of you may remember, Ainata is the village of G from Colonial Outcast that was with us on multiple reports here. This would be the 6th targeting in South Lebanon since the beginning of this day. We'll wait until the attacks happen. We'll see the damage and we'll finish this report with you.
ضرب
يا محمد يا محمد من نصره حي كله شو هذا ولو لعنة الله جيبيو هذا مش طبيعي لو يا شباب
That was really disgusting. We can hear the jet still flying. This was clearly, again, a civilian target. No secondary explosions. Smoke is white-gray, so all the cement flying up and the TNT material in the warhead. But that was a very strong noise. The rescue crews are waiting because we don't know if the Zionists will target this again. But that explosion was big enough probably to take out not only the home, but probably the block around it. The whole village is covered in this plume of smoke. You can barely see the buildings anymore behind all this smoke that descended from top of the hill on Ainata. So this is the 6th attack since the morning by the Zionists on villages in the south of Lebanon, mainly in the Bint Jbeil region. We saw in our own eyes the attack here in Ainata and the 2 attacks that we filmed on the other side of the mountain. And of course, there's the attack that happened on the university school bus that was happening this morning. This is all an escalation in an attempt to add more pressure on the Lebanese populace and the Lebanese government to force the resistance led by Hezbollah to hand over their weapons. The deadline that the fascists, the Zionists, the imperialists have put is by the end of this month, and it's clear from the speeches of Said Naim al-Qasim and from the position of the president of Lebanon that this will not be happening. There will be no handing over of the weapons of the resistance, especially looking at what happened in Gaza just yesterday with the abandonment of China and Russia and the reimposition of a colonial occupation and a colonial rule from the United States there because of the situation in Gaza in terms of a military balance. So Lebanon will retain its sovereignty through its ability to defend itself with the presence of the resistance and the people in the south of Lebanon. This is Laith Marouf. Behind the camera is Hadi. I ask you to press one more time the subscribe button on whatever social media platform you're watching this on, and to go to our website, freepalestine.video, to donate so we can continue bringing you this unique content. Until we see you next time, I bid you all a free Palestine and a free Lebanon.